from him.
I'm just rotating through you guys. I'm just rotating through you. Get your last words in. Do I have a picture of Tassadar? I know I do. Tassadar, there we go.
I think he comes with a...
He does, and we'll show it later.
Boom.
But Tassadar, a support, a literal, I think it's our first listed support. Everyone else has been siege. But protective shield, mass shielding, phase shift, void walk, phase shift, force. What is this? He has a lot of abilities.
His ultimate is mislabeled as phase shift in here.
Oh.
His
No.
ultimate's actually called Twilight
you're right.
Messiah.
You're right.
So these are his two forms, and so I guess they don't have every
is
hero's
this
two forms available
Archon,
yet.
the Archon form?
Yeah, the mislabeled phase shift. He turns into an Archon for 15 seconds,
Archon.
which is sweet.
All right, Kennedy. Well, since I screwed you over last round, this is your time to shine.
I was saying, from looking at these abilities, like this is like they talked about before you go into when you're selecting your character, you can choose two different roles. That's what I'm guessing this is right here with the QQEERRWWs. You can choose this Tassadar or the other Tassadar, and that gives our ability. So assuming that they're in their orders, protective shield, phase shift. Well, they got phase shift in there twice, whatever, and then time warp. I guess these different abilities go on whichever selection you choose.
Hold on. Is mass shielding like a pseudo fortify from League?
Shields, units, or structures absorbs damage.
It doesn't say shields target. Shields
Units
all?
or structures. Yeah.
Could it possibly be all? I would love that.
It
My,
may be.
my impression is not minions. That's the only thing I get read out of that.
It seems like it'd be in Archon form.
Actually,
so.
well, units could count as
Units would be enemy unions, ally units.
Shield the enemy! No! No!
Tassadar, no!
Tassadar! How could you?
I'm gonna
Tassadar,
shield the
he-
Nazeeba.
Go fly into the
Now
Overmind.
Nazeeba's feeding. God damn it.
No, because look, if Nazma already has 800 shields, you give him 801. He's that much tankier.
Force Wall, I know, is one of the ults. We've seen that repeatedly. Creates a wall. It's basically like Force Field. I don't know why they call it Force Wall, but Force Field from
Because it's a wall
StarCraft
of
2.
them.
But we have also seen, we've seen the invulnerable and invisible on phase shift. I don't know why it says Tassadar becomes invulnerable and invisible, because I'm pretty sure I've seen that casted on Raynor in the last dev match. Or maybe that was just literally just the mass shielding.
Maybe it was the mass shielding.
I don't
Could
know.
have sworn he went invincible. But
Yeah,
Alright.
data mining.
data mining, yeah. Data mining too strong. His difficulty set to very hard.
Yeah, he also... Him, Abathur, Illidan, and one more person came with that warning at BlizzCon. Like, warning,
Illidan
do
is
not
listed
play.
as very hard?
Yes,
Illidan.
he's listed as...
The Illidan, where you
and
just
it
jump
pops
up
with-
and left click to kill shit. I mean,
It's because of the way his combos work. But
Alright.
Yeah, you
it
have
just
to
pops up
combo.
with a
I
very
don't
very advanced.
okay.
It's because you have to push all the buttons for him
Instead
to-
of just
Yes.
one or two. Okay. I did not expect that, to be honest. But all right. One thing to note: low attack damage, 47. Attack speed, even slower attack speeds than that of Gazlo. But ranged and splash. And look at that second phase shift listing. Gains 300 points shield and basic attack splash for another 47. You basically double your attack damage for 15 seconds.
Well, if you
That
played
alien's
StarCraft, Archons, they do that little lightning bolt attack, but it does splash damage.
True. Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Archon form, because he's
Ooh,
technically
lightning
a
bolt.
Templar. I do like Time Warp, though. Deals 26 damage to enemies in a target area and slows them movement speed. It's literally just like, Time Warp in StarCraft. I mean, it's very heavily
And I like
loaded.
the tier 5 talent. Time Warp grows over time
Not
and
there
pulls
yet.
enemies in upon enemies.
Not there
I'm
yet.
sorry, I'm excited.
I know you are, bro. I know you are.
I want to see Force Wall put up and Diablo charge somebody into it.
Now, here for the tiers here, we got AP and AD buckets.
So they can play either way.
You can. I think
That's
you could
odd.
literally go like Archon, I'm very selfish, or I'm very team-oriented. I really do think those are the two ways you can go with them.
So he could
Yeah,
be that
I mean-
support that could be played as... interesting.
You could be a bloodthirsty support, or you could be a Sona. I mean, it's really one of the two.
It'd be interesting to see if you can also, at some point, if they allow you to play champions hybrid, play a style of both, and kind of take the best of both worlds. But as of right now, it doesn't look like that's available.
Not yet, but it does look like they are setting up for that.
Mhm.
Tier 2, Vampiric Assault. Again, you could go very selfish. Invigorate, dealing damage with abilities heals you for 45 health over 3 seconds. That sounds pretty decent but again, it's still very selfish. Passive weapon buff, and what is Oracle? Is Oracle one of his?
It's
That's his
it's his
passive.
talent. Activate to increase vision range and see into the fog of war for a period of time.
I like how they called it Oracle. That's very fitting. Yeah. Cleanse, battle momentum, protective shield. So it's a double shield. Another phase shift, force wall, healing ward. I don't think we've seen that, have we?
No, it's the old, it's kind of like the old Juggernaut ward.
That's totally a lie.
Follows you around.
Totally a lie. I have seen healing ward. He was in the last pod. I had no idea what it was at the time, but I do remember seeing it.
That's interesting.
Man, I know it's
So,
totally
and
like
so-
Juggernaut from Dota, but we have seen that.
Yeah.
I thought that was the minions.
So did I.
So did I. Some of the minions do.
The
place
big
healing
minion.
wards, though.
It drops.
You think it was that, not this?
I think so because it was always in lane. I could be wrong, but
I'd
I'm
have to go
pretty
back
sure
and watch. Yeah.
that big minion in lane drops either AoE healing like that or it drops just like a health thing, and I don't know.
So here's the tier 5 you were talking about there, Thildren. The time warp grows over time, pulls enemy upon ending. It's almost like the Archon toilet of StarCraft 2. Everybody gets pulled in. But again, like another big AoE centric stuff. You were talking about that earlier, right? Here's another ability to cluster up your opponents.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's going to be a shortage thus far. I mean, we're only 4 or 5. God, we're going to be here till like 1 in the morning.
That's
But
why we're trying to accelerate everything now.
Right, AoE good.
This
Lots of
is
AoE
last
options.
words.
Next.
I just want to mention one thing before we go on.
Oh, thanks,
Protective
Ricky.
shield.
Yeah.
If protective shield expires, 50% of the shield remains indefinitely.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's clumsy wording.
It's indefinite until it runs out, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't disappear.
Okay. I read it as something completely different because
Permanent
they have
health?
they have the
Until it
built-in-
breaks.
They have the built-in shielding, don't they? Or did I take that out?
I'm not really sure how that actually works, but I know what you're talking about.
Okay, so then okay. Let's move on. Good.
Why does my music
Yes.
keep dying? Stop dying, music.
No.
Now,
This
what-
is not the same loop for 4
Told
hours.
you should have went with the rock and roll racing.
I'm just doing too many things at once. My computer is not used to
The
streaming
High
at all.
Priestess is waiting for us.
Distortion Beam and Rewind were the other ones there, but they look fairly like standard stuff. So, last word for Tassadar goes to Thildren.
Let me get my wife in here. She played him at BlizzCon, but other than that, move on.
All right, brilliant last word. Oh yeah, we were gonna look at the quick skin that I have as soon as I load it back up. There we go. The next one will be Tyrande though, and I'm not sure I have a picture there, but there's the alternate skin, Mecha Tassadar. Gundams, please do not sue. No suerino here. Do I have a Tyrande? Tyrande. I do not.
No.
Okay. But yeah, there's Mecha Tassadar. Looks pretty cool, at least in my eyes. Tyrande, High Priestess of Elune. Is it a hunter? Is it a priest? Who knows? Right there, Zen. But she is going to be support again. Light of Elune, Lunar Flare, Sentinel, Shadowstalk, and Starfall. We've seen some pretty good stuff out of that Starfall. Very offensive. But
She strikes me already as a very offensive support based on what she does.
Light of Elune, so she has the Taric heal.
Well, she heals by attacking.
Deals 90 damage and stuns enemies in Lunar Flare. Sentinel travels across the battleground, revealing, but also does damage.
Yeah.
Global hawk shot, so to speak. Yeah.
And we had spoken about this on our podcast. That is global objective denial.
That too. Yep.
Right there.
Yep. Damage and reveal. So it's like, anybody there? Yep. Did you want that?
That's
Sorry, bro.
freaking-
Yeah.
Not even that. Oh, you're 1 second away from turning into 10 coins, Captain Blackheart? No, you're not.
No, you're not. What's the cooldown
Sorry.
on Sentinel? 18 seconds. 18
Yeah.
seconds. So I.
That's gonna be really annoying. Stop hitting me with your goddamn out.
It's basically kind of like a ratchet.
Challenge
rocket,
to the
you know?
face.
The ratchet little rocket he fires across the map. I think
Yep.
the cooldown on that gets down to 20 at rank 4. So
And then, of course, Shadowstalk and Starfall, which is the Priestess of the Moon, Dota Ultimate, and Starfall, which I think anybody that's played Warcraft 3 knows what Starfall is. It's AoE damage for fun. Also slows enemies by negative 30%. So that, do they speed
They
up
speed up.
by 30%?
Oh, trick.
I don't
Well, I
know.
know if I was getting hit by stars, I'd probably go faster.
Yeah.
because I'd want to get away.
There's a meteor coming. I'm hightailing it.
Really
Yeah,
hot.
I'm gonna hightail it out of there for sure.
Yeah.
I'm slowed by faster. Ow.
AD, AP, and passive weapon stuff. Healing effect is increased at tier 1. Focus attack, we've been seeing that, plus the Vampiric Assault coming back, and Lunar Flare Mastery. So increase the cast range by 10. That could actually be pretty big for harassment. You know, if you can outrange for harassment, it's very hard to match that.
Can I say something about the Shadow Stalk?
No.
It's oh.
Of course you can.
it's a mobile bush, right?
It's mobile
So
stealth, yeah.
For 8 seconds, you're ganking from mid lane.
Yeah.
Like you're
No.
just like, oh, our whole team's here.
It's
Sucks to
either an
be you.
escape mechanism or it's initiation, depending on how aggressive you get with it.
Especially given that there's no like inherent detection abilities. There's not like a gem. There's not invis wards. Like you really just are like, well, I don't feel like dealing with this, or we're just all gonna be here kicking the crap out of you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They
Remember
said
that
it's
time
gonna
you were
make the
alone in
little-
lane? It was
Now you're not.
Well,
They said there's going to be the distortion when you're stealth. So imagine you stealth.
you still can't be
Diablo.
targeted. I don't think. Like,
Oh
if
my
you're
god.
stealth-
Take a look
Can you
at
imagine-
Sentinel Shot Mastery.
Yeah,
Tier
say
3.
that.
Yeah.
Oh
With
my
500%
god.
damage by 200.
Oh my god. Tripled your damage and increase the AoE of it linearly by 100%?
I think this talent gets the maximum trolling award.
Oh my god. Like, what else do you take? Cleanse? No. Battle Momentum? Who cares? Or Berserk? Who cares? Like,
But you
seriously.
can't control this talent once you shoot it off. Like, does it count when does it hit towers and stuff? And
No.
does it hit minions? And
No,
It,
oh
it
my
hits
God,
heroes
hit
for damage
towers.
and heroes and reveals them. But
It'd
still,
be
it's
funny
just
if it
like...
hit towers. Bird just
Yeah,
flies.
you just sit there in the base every 18 seconds. Every 18 seconds.
That palace, man, we're gonna wear it down by never leaving base.
Well,
Yeah.
that or you find out where Nazba is on the map, and just every 18 seconds shoot at Nazba.
Get him!
he's like, where's it coming from?
God,
Giant
can you
Killer
imagine?
returns. Light of Balloon Mastery,
I-
who cares? But Shrink Ray also sounds fun. Ice Block, Healing Word again. Heroes, and then, yeah, just the regular Tier 6, Tier 7. Normal. The Tier 7 stuff is the equivalent of your Storm Powers, right? Like, that's like your
Yeah.
maximum damage stuff.
Yep.
I think so.
Okay.
She also has the Blade of the Rune King active. So
Yep.
I like enemies are killed by stuff explode for 500 damage in small area. That is going to be amazing.
a small area.
Yeah.
We're talking about the Hawk Shot. I don't know. What would be better? Battle momentum? Because you just keep auto-attacking, reduces your ability cooldowns. Then you just got Hawks flying out every 5 seconds. I mean,
Oh my god, that would be fantastic.
that would be even better.
She's the
This
most
Hawk
annoying
ability-
support, is what she
This
is.
Hawk ability is like the best reason ever to pick a character.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
good at
Your team's
Definer,
all-
for sure.
Your team's like, okay, we got a tank, we got a pusher, we need a hawk shot. Can you play a hawk shot? Yeah, we got a hawk shot.
We got that. Anytime anyone tries to take anything, you just shoot them. Then you use your cooldown ability, and then you shoot them again until we can get there.
So,
Well, that's the thing. You always on the what do you call it? Cursed Hollow and on Dragon Shire, you know where the
Yeah.
objective is.
Yeah, you do.
Always and Blackheart. So just if you think they're doing it, throw a hawk at it.
I'm going to do the last word here for this one. But Tyrande plus Abathur with global range on creep tumors and global range on hawks. It's like you're never, ever, ever going to get an objective. Never, ever, ever. So I think that's a pretty cool combo that you could do. Fortunately, we
horrifying.
don't have a skin, but the big man himself walks away with sunglasses. Uther is up next on this list.
Yes.
And
Can we point out to Squishy that he's muted?
No, I was
Squishy's
gonna say
act-
let's not.
Squishy's muted? Is he actually
Squishy is
muted?
muted. He's been talking and like you can see his mouth moving, but you can't
Really?
hear anything.
Squishy.
Yeah, for a while now.
Squishy. Come back to us, bro. Come back to us. Say something.
Be our
If
friend.
you're not gonna say anything, I'm gonna skip you.
That's so good.
All right, cool. All right, Uther walks away with sunglasses. Is supposed to be this impenetrable support. He's literally listed still as a support, but look at that health: 890 plus 190 a level, life regen off the charts, and just his energy is just. I'm like, what do you do against Uther other than just try to take him down en masse?
Well, you ignore
Ignore
him.
him.
In team
Ignore
fights, you
him?
ignore him.
Every
You're
time you
like-
ignore him, he comes back as a ghost and destroys you, though.
He doesn't do much as a ghost, so they were saying. Like, I think a lot of his powers are like greatly diminished as a ghost. So
I think it's a 50% nerf.
yeah, I think the answer to Uther is literally just be like, well, he's gonna use his ult. Let's wait for his ult to be done. Okay, ignore him.
All right, I don't understand why there's 2 Qs here. That has to be like some kind
Because
of bug.
one's well
It's-
dead.
Oh, one's while dead?
No, I think
No, that doesn't make
talents.
sense.
Yeah. When he dies, he comes back and is able to heal.
But
Well,
he's
dead.
also killed stuff. Like he could also use that to kill
Yeah.
stuff. While
Yeah, that's
dead.
the second. That's the second version.
No.
Deals 75 damage.
No, his Holy
Hol-
Light does damage even when he's not dead.
Tier 6
Yeah.
mastery. Holy Light. Holy Light can be cast on an enemy to do 50% of its healing as damage.
Okay, so maybe that's
Tier
just a
6 talent.
replacement. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that it does damage later on, but yeah. All right, so Holy Light, Holy Radiance deals 50 damage in a line, heals allies. We've seen that mechanic before. Hammer of Justice, stun, and then the Divine Shield, Divine Storm. What is Divine Storm?
It's the the hammer ability the paladins in WoW have that rotate around them.
Yeah, it's their AoE damage ability in WoW, and it looks like it's pretty similar. It includes a stun, which it does not include in WoW. It does not stun people in WoW.
Have
Nope.
we seen that in a deathmatch?
Nope, because
Okay.
Divine Shield, I think.
Yeah, invulnerability for 3 seconds and movement speed.
It's also
Unless-
really, I think, what most people are more comfortable with if you've played, obviously Dota. God, I can't remember, Omni Knight. That was basically his ultimate ability is Divine Shield. And, like, this one actually increases movement speed, too, which Omni Knights did not. It was health regen and invulnerability in Dota.
I just thought of it. Divine Storm. Get Tyrande and Uther. Cloak him, have him run in super fast, and then Divine Storm everybody. Stuns
On
all 5 people.
Nazba. On Nazba.
On Nazba. Okay.
On Nazba.
That's the team.
God.
Nazba.
And throw minions at people, right?
Suddenly there's a paladin on top of you, like, hi, stun.
Yeah.
Oh, you're getting away, Hammer of Justice. Stun again.
Oh my god, every time I transition into these images, like, XSplit just dies a little bit more. But...
It just dies in the inside a little bit.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's alright. Alright, AP, HP, the first time we've seen 10% health in the bucket. And Uther, Hammer of the Lightbringer. That has to be a placement name. But basic attacks also restore 5 mana. So again, like Tarek. He has a tier 2 AP ability. Why would
They
you
want
ever
him
take that?
to. You take them both, because then you
You'd have plus
really
20%
heal for a
AP.
lot.
But is that additive or multiplicative? Because 10% of 10% would be 11%.
It's additive
Okay, so it's 20% then.
because it'd be plus 10 plus 10.
Okay. Hey,
I-
WoW has some really interesting rules when it came to that back in the
Yeah,
day,
that's
so.
true. We don't know.
I think this is
Yeah.
always a question in almost any MOBA I've seen do this when they put it on top, like especially with movement speed. Is it when they use percentages and stuff? Is it just on top of it, or is it based on the new base?
Yep. Invigorate, so dealing damage with abilities heals you. We've seen that before. Superiority, just reduce damage. Battle momentum again. Holy Radiance increases damage and healing by question marks. And then Hammer of Justice, where you can actually get that stun out faster, so you can become a stun
but-
bot.
The Holy Radiance, though, increases damage by question mark for each target hit.
Yep.
Up to question mark.
So you hit all 5 people in
That's
a
gonna
line.
hurt.
Pew, 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 yeah.
You hit all 5 people and all the whole minion wave in a line.
Says each target.
Unlike-
Sure, yeah.
Unlike
Yeah,
most of the
somebody's
other
soul.
heroes, see at tier 3, most of the heroes have their masteries separated between different tiers. So you've got to pick and choose right there at tier 3 between your W or E.
I'm giving huge props to Blizzard. Might and Magic. I love those games.
Yeah, I saw that.
But basic attacks increase your ability's effectiveness by 10% 4 times stacking.
Jesus.
that
40% plus 10 plus 10?
What's his attack speed like?
not that great.
1.25.
That's a lot of healing.
1.25. Now, that's like the higher the numbers, the slower, or the lower the numbers, the slower? Pretty sure
I
lower
assume it's
number
one-
is slower. That's
I
how it
think
works
so.
in every other MOBA. Like, that's
Yeah.
how many attacks per second.
Yeah, I think so.
Or maybe, or that's the cooldown. That's the cooldown between attacks. I think that's actually how it's read.
I don't know. That's odd.
So 1.25% or seconds between attacks. Like if you have 0.7, then
No.
you're attacking much faster.
Because
No,
why would-
it's 1.25 attacks a second.
Okay.
So 2.5 attacks every 2 seconds.
So 4 attacks every 5 seconds.
That seems
Well, I'm
fast,
looking-
especially for
I-
support.
I'm looking at all the champions here, and they're all 1.25. So
And
it's plays-
they scale.
Well,
They
if they're-
scale differently.
yeah,
right.
they scale differently.
Plus,
they're
it
all
goes
base
your
1.25.
talents.
But that'd
Holy
be amazing,
Devotion. Here's your Holy Devotion. No longer has reduced ability power and attack damage and lasts 100% longer. So not only are you now invincible because you're dead, you're there for twice as long and you have no reduction on your ghost form.
Oh, that's annoying.
That's when you really ignore the bastard.
So what do you take? Might and Magic, or do you take that?
That's a tough one.
Do you plan on
Well,
dying a
one of
lot?
I was
Do
gonna
you
say
plan
one
on
of them.
feeding?
One of them is pretty defeatist. You're like, well, I'm gonna die, and when I do die, I will continue being annoying.
Right.
I think the other one's more appropriate if you plan on being alive.
Half health Arthas is running by. Help me, I have half health. Oh, look, there you go. Arthas is at full health again, and being he has like 5,000 at level 20.
Right.
That's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, he has some really powerful heals for sure.
It comes down to who you plan on feeding with Naziva and Gazla on your team.
Considering
his tier 7 talent.
Push the feed, then that's great. Take the well you're dead thing, right?
We're gonna create a Blizz Heroes meme before it ever goes into closed beta. Nazva and Gazla, man.
I'm quite okay.
Quite
okay taking that blame, to be honest.
Holy Devotion is for the new players, so that you know they're gonna die a lot. So at least they're still useful to you when they're on a team after they die.
See,
that's what you do. You just tell them to pick. Hey, you're probably not very good. Just pick that one.
All right, so the alternate skin here that we had was the Judgment, which looks baller. If you guys have ever played old school World of Warcraft, the Judgment skin was literally the best tier 2 that you could find in the world.
I found 2 more on the wiki: Lumberjack Uther and Medic Uther.
Well, I don't have those, so.
It's a StarCraft medic, and Lumberjack just looks ridiculous.
It would. Yeah, it would. Who wants last word for this one?
I do.
I do.
No,
whoever said it first. Something.
Squishy. It's all squishies.
Storm powers. Upon dying, revive back at your altar after 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Yes. Add more to the pusher feed. 3 of them now. We're gonna
that
make
has nothing to do with Uther at all.
Yeah, it does. He has that talent. Unlike the others.
I agree. It does.
Oh, I thought Storm talents were global. You're saying he's the only.
They are global,
he's
but
one of the few that only have them.
There's only so many.
4 or 5.
Yeah, there's usually like one of them. One of the storm talents is usually different between them and stuff a lot of times.
Okay,
that's awesome.
I take it back. Good job.
Thank you.
He's impossible to kill. His talent's a big fuck you if you do manage to kill him. And then guess what? He's back in 5 seconds.
So you can die twice in 2 minutes.
Your push and feed team's looking really good now. Yeah.
Can I just say real quick?
Fine.
Uther's success in a team fight, I think, is really going to depend on how willing you are to, in team fights, just find the squishiest character on the other team and just stay on top of him. That is what you're going to do. Like, if people are going to ignore you, because that's how they're going to handle Uther, I suspect, then you go find that Nazva. You go find that Gazlo. You just sit on top of them with your hammer, cast your abilities every time they're off cooldown to, do something for the team, and then just sit there auto-attacking. Just
hit him with a limp noodle.
Hammer.
This is annoying, isn't it?
Pool party Uther with a wet noodle.
But I think that's going to be the mark of a successful Uther, is somebody who's actually like, look, it doesn't matter if you kill me, I'm just coming back. I'm just going to harass your squishies.
I agree, I like that.
Alright, next up,
counter.
Tychus of the... I was going to say Storm for some reason, I don't know why. Notorious Outlaw. Tychus is someone we haven't seen in any match. But he is like literally front page on the website, and his difficulty is actually listed as hard. I love his flavor text, though. Big ego, bigger gun. And that seems to be basically right on point with everything here. Now, he has a lot of different abilities, and who would like to explain why?
Me.
All right, you're up.
Okay, so the reason he has a lot of different abilities is because he seems to have 2 modes. One of his ultimates is Commandeer the Odin, and if you played StarCraft 2's The Wings of Liberty campaign, that was a mission. He commandeers a gigantic... It was a fun mission, yeah, because, he's just running around on a rampage. But that seems to switch your Q, W, and E over to missiles.
Yep.
And it's like we were talking about this, what is this, Shadow Fiend in Dota? Is that the guy?
For the different
the different ranged abilities.
They're
but
static
unlike
ranges.
Shadow Fiend, unlike Shadow Fiend, they share a cooldown with him.
Which makes a little less value in my eyes, but...
But wind up his minigun. It sounds like kind of a Jinx mechanic with her minigun, where it builds up over time and winds up to do more damage. So, because his W, running gun, charge forward and instantly wind up Tychus's minigun.
Yeah, not entirely too sure what that refers to, because it's not anywhere else. Oh, there it is, overkill. Focus his minigun on target. Can retarget while casting. This ability gets stronger with more attack. That's... I don't know. It doesn't say anything about winding it up, though.
I don't know how this... Yeah, I don't know how he's going to work.
You guys really like that pusher feed thing. Oh, my God.
Yeah, we got to see him, because it sounds weird on paper.
All right. Overkill, long-range missiles, run and gun. I like the idea of the laser drill. That was also another mission.
I love that mission. That was fun.
Drilling through and destroying Protoss at the same time. Fun. But yeah, I think like the Commandeer Odin, like you gotta play with it. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? All right, talents. Anybody see anything cool?
When the minigun is wound up, he gets 10% increased movement speed.
Is that actually a talent?
Yeah, lock and load.
It's tier 1.
Wow, I totally didn't even see it. So maybe that's why the wind up is there. You click on the wind up and it activates lock and load.
Vampiric Assault is lower health than everybody else's, but probably because he attacks a hell of a lot faster.
Let's take a quick look. 1.5 attack speed and 1% gain. So 1.5 attack speed. That's, you said everyone was 1.25. Who said that? You're out of the group.
I did. I apparently.
You're out of the group. Sorry.
And see everything. He
can't
must
read.
attack faster because everything's less for him. His giant killer is a.
But
30
his scaling is really low.
Yeah, 1% does not seem that big.
I don't know how this is gonna work, but all of his on hit, like on basic attack hit, they seem a third as effective as everybody else's. So it probably means he's gonna fire a hell of a lot faster.
Like the tier 3 talent, first aid kit, activate to heal some kind of % of your health.
Yeah, that's nice.
And there's the Odin, there's the Drek. You said giant killer's a little bit lower. That is totally true.
Imposing presence. This is the first time I've seen this. Enemies that attack you have their attack speed slowed by 30%. Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, it's just another global one.
And he's got Blade of the Rune King active.
Overkill.
And passive.
Stacking slow, yeah. Run and gun mastery 1. Run and gun also increases Tychus's range for 2 as long as his minigun is wound up. That tells me that like he's gonna get a buff called wind up, and it's gonna last X amount of seconds. Because that's 2 talents now referring to his minigun winding up.
Maybe it's his talent, his passive.
Let's say, is his passive just an active that he has to activate so he can wind it up, or?
Fury, Resurgence, and Bolts for his end ones. Nothing. Overkill Mastery is really the only other thing. So yeah, all of his talents look like they just refer to his minigun. So it could very well be his passive. If only you listed them, MMO champ.
Maybe he can't attack unless he winds up his minigun.
That'd
be interesting play style.
But he also has grenades. Like he also has grenades and stuff.
Maybe he has a minigun, and if it's not wound up, he just pulls out a little pistol and shoots them, or something. I don't know.
Last word on Tychus. Who wants it?
I would like to see him. That would be nice. Would like to see him
echo
in
that
action.
last word.
Blizzard, please. Oh my God, we got so many left.
He also has the feeding talent.
All right, we're an hour and a half in, guys. We need to try to wrap this up by 2 hours if possible. So.
Oh God, yeah.
Because you all have other things to do, and I have other things to do, and
there could just be a part 2 to this. I mean, frankly, you're doing a good job breaking them down.
I really don't want to do a part 2, to be honest.
Okay, never mind. Sorry, guys.
Illidan the Betrayer.
Part 2 or Riot.
Part 2. Part 2. All right.
Hashtag.
Illidan's very simple. Use your abilities in sequential order. Kill people.
Illidan. Next.
We're doing it live.
Doing it live. Yeah. As soon as we spent like 20 minutes on Avatar, it's like, damn it.
Yeah.
Can we just cover like the big ones?
Yeah, let's do that. All right, so Betrayer Strike, Crescent Sweep, The Hunt, Metamorphosis, Lunge, and I know he has a Mark of Azzinoth on here somewhere. I think that's his passive. He is listed as very hard, you are correct. 1.25 and 2% scaling attack, but 65 melee damage. What a baller. Good health on that as well, 130 and 145, so... if I recall, it's Q is an attack, Crescent Sweep does the cone in front of him, Lunge jumps at him, and Metamorphosis versus the Hunt. We haven't seen Metamorphosis, but we have seen Hunt repeatedly.
I've seen it in person at BlizzCon.
Yeah.
Metamorphosis is it's because he's got a channel, transform into demon form. I think it takes him 2 or 3 seconds to do so he's left vulnerable, but the stats he gains are incredible.
150 temporary max health, 30% increased attack speed. Does he turn ranged like he normally does in everything else?
I believe so, actually, yeah.
Cool. That's amazing.
And then upon impact, deals 200 damage in a small area. His W becomes a cone in front of him instead of around him.
I'm still taking the Hunt because I just want to jump at people saying, "You are not prepared!" and kill them. It would be amazing.
I love that the Hunt has a very long range.
Yes. No, it does. We've seen that before as well. My music died again.
No.
Thrill of the Chase. Each nearby enemy with Azzinoth gives you 10% attacks, move speed. Sorry, that is amazing.
Illidan, Skull of Gul'dan. 2% of damage dealt is returned as health.
That's also amazing.
Just flat damage.
Betrayer's Strike increases attack speed by 30%. That, like, everything about Illidan just gels so much with what I want to play in this game. It really does.
This is also another champion we can add to the 1600 shields we already have on the field. So
does he get shields?
Yes, he does.
Stone Skin down there.
2,400 shields.
That's right.
Shield comp.
After lunging, dodge up to 2 basic attacks in the next 3 seconds. Tier 6.
That's kind of nice.
That's pretty awesome.
For dueling.
Yeah, definitely pretty awesome. You want to jump on top of Nova? She shoots you, dodge. Shoots you, dodge. By now you have 2 marks of Aznath, and you can jump again and blow people up. Like, I want to play Odin so much. So much. Executioner, deal more damage against people that are CC'd. We've seen that a few times. It's just, like, he's pure damage. That's all he is. It's just, like, he might be very hard to play, but if you can just one-shot people by endgame, like, who cares, right?
He has Resurgence of the Storm.
Who bloody cares? A lot of people do. A lot of people do.
Yeah, it wasn't just Uther.
He's not going to be part of the pusher feed team, but...
Well, then why are we even talking about him?
That's a great question. So let's move on. Before we do that, I am going to get my bloody music going here. But before we do that, we do have one of his skins, the Illidan Blood Elf. Bam, there we go. It's literally just the same model as his Night Elf, but he's a Blood Elf. I have no idea where that fits in the lore, and I don't really care to try to place it. But up next, Falstad, who wants to tell us about the Wildhammer thing?
I played him.
You're as expert as anyone else. Go for it.
Ex-champ. He's been played.
He's been played.
He was a lot of fun. I mean, he throws a hammer that comes back. It does damage, I think, both ways. Thunderstorm. It's like Blitzcrank's ult passive. It just shocks people occasionally, and then you can activate it, and it shocks people really quickly. Barrel roll, simple. The shield is underwhelming. It's 75, and it doesn't scale. It's 75 at level 1. It's 75 at level 20. It kind of sucked.
Really?
And I used Shock and Awe. Yeah. I used Shock and Awe as my ult. It was not 280 damage. It was 780 damage. Had a 2-second charge up time. It was Lux Laser. Identical, but it was a 2-second charge versus like a half-second charge. And it hurt.
The aerial Blitzkrieg must be what was taking out the Hyperion then.
Yes. Yeah, it was something. It says deals 150 damage to all enemies near Falstad. At BlizzCon, it said fly to an enemy hero, assaulting them from the sky, and that's all it said.
Huh. Interesting. Okay.
At least that's what I read anyway.
Well,
the big thing.
They've updated him since, yeah.
I think the big thing to take from Volstad is the flying mechanic, right? That's what makes him pretty different than
his
mobility.
passive.
Yeah.
No mount.
Yeah.
You press E, he drains 2 mana a second and flies.
That's amazing.
We did look up. Oh, now that we have the talents, does he have?
Stormhammer has no description.
Look, it's bugs. Stormhammer, it deals 50% damage against an additional target.
But in terms of your note, like, is there anything here that replenishes mana? Because you're looking to do perma flying, right?
Yeah, exactly. That was the point. Was that if you could replenish some extra mana, you could literally fly around for the entire map. It's just
I can't imagine that Blizzard would put that in. I really
no.
I don't.
But as it stands, I believe with your innate mana regen, you can technically fly around. I believe for 1/5 of the map length if it's a 20-minute match, which is still an absurd amount of time of just flying around for.
This playlist has failed me.
This doesn't help you, but you can increase your mana cost with Overdrive.
Yeah.
By 40%.
that helps. Yeah. Battle momentum, Thunderstorm. So gain 8% attack speed every time Thunderstorm hits the target. Stack that 5 times, 40% attack speed. Seems pretty fun.
When I played him, I took Stormhammer, and then I took Fury of the Storm when I got the Storm powers. So it was Chain Lightning to 4 people every time you attack.
Is this a bug?
It did stack.
Barrel roll, gain 100% move speed for 3 seconds.
No, that was legit.
Serious. It's amazing. Yep. There's Might and Magic again as well.
Yes.
Yep.
Or Giant Killer, but nobody cares about Giant Killer.
I don't remember them having Might and Magic.
Constant heroism, boo.
Hey, with that laser fucking hurts, and it affects buildings. I found that out the hard way. I shoot the laser, all of a sudden it's like an enemy keep has been destroyed, and it's the one the lightning bolt just barely touched. I'm like, did I do that?
Amazing. All right.
Cool.
So as you guys have said, I mean, we've seen a lot of Falstad. We pretty much knew everything about him. He's a flying dwarf on a griffin with lightning. Pew pew pew. Woo, cool times. I don't think it would be part of Push Your Feed, but then again, I have no idea who else would be on Push Your Feed right now. So we're going to talk about Kerrigan. Zen, go for it.
Yeah. Oh, well, you know, Kerrigan is a really cool guy, doesn't afraid of anything, does a bunch of damage. No, Kerrigan is a not very, I don't think all that difficult character to play. She's an assassin. She does a bunch of damage. Really, I think the coolest thing about her is the Primal Grasp ability, which pulls enemies within the target area towards Kerrigan. It's going to be really huge for lane control in big team fights. Like, you know, obviously, if people start trying to get away from her, she's just going to reel them back in. It does some token damage. I'm not sure how much really that's going to matter. Ravage also allows her to leap on target ability, so obviously she can get into fights, kind of control the flow of them while doing huge damage. Obviously, the drawback to this character, and you'd kind of expect it for all the damage she's going to do, she's not very tanky. I mean, she's not as necessarily squishy as, say, like Abathur or, say, Nazba, but nobody is. Her ultimates, we've been seeing in the developer match, I've seen anyways, the Summon Ultralisk, which just basically summons an Ultralisk. We saw at one point Uther just being chased around by this Ultralisk.
Yeah, but he didn't
unfortunately, well, that's not a good indicator of how much damage it does, unfortunately. We can't tell how much damage it does by it chasing around Uther because Uther doesn't take damage. Ergo,
therefore,
we need to see it against... Yeah, we need to see it against another hero who's actually mortal. And we can't see it against Nazba because that would tell us it does too much damage. So we need like a medium hero in the middle.
Need Nillidan in there. Yeah.
Also, other heroic ability would be Maelstrom, which deals 50% or deals 50 damage per second to enemies nearby. Kind of reminds me of Starfall, sans the movement slow or buff, depending on how you read it. So that's going to be very interesting because she is so capable of getting into the middle of the fight and then kind of keeping people there for a little bit. So there's some obvious synergy with Maelstrom and her other abilities. The other ability I hadn't mentioned yet was Impaling Blades, which deals 125 damage to enemies within the target area, stunning them for 1 second. So as you can see, this hero is just all about jumping in the middle of the team fight, hoping to God she doesn't die, and then doing a bunch of area of effect damage. Which actually really makes the Ultralisk pick that we see so often kind of weird.
Yeah.
Because there's no inherent synergy with the rest of her abilities. That said, the nice thing is that it doesn't rely on her being in the middle of a fight. So if you're looking to be a little bit more survivable without any more like tangible HP or regeneration, that's one way to go about it. You have presence in the fight without being in the middle of it. Thus far, we've actually seen Kerrigan do pretty well at picking off lone heroes. She also dies a fair bit, but not nearly as much as others. So, you know. Yeah. I think, you know, looking at her talents, I haven't actually looked at them until just now, but looking at the specific ones, one of the first ones she has is Kerrigan Double Strike. When your non-heroic abilities damage an enemy, your next basic attack hits for an additional 50% damage. That's not a huge surprise, and I think it's kind of an obvious pick. Kerrigan has been advertised as just doing a bunch of damage. That's what she does. Looking down some more, Impaling Blades. Impaling Blades.
Yeah.
Also spawns 2 Zerglings at the target location. So that's really her big damage dealing ability that also stuns at an AoE. So it summoned 2 Zerglings. That's just additional damage. Primal Grasp. The talent, basically, version of it is after a 3-second delay, deals 30 damage to nearby enemies. Again, you'd have to see how much that scales, but after a 3-second delay, a lot of people can get away in 3 seconds. You know, there's a lot of situations you can get stunned, people can blink. I don't like that compared to the Impaling Blades upgrade, where you get the Zerglings immediately and you can kind of sick them on someone. So obviously, I think that's probably the winner there. But yeah, most of her stuff is just about amplifying her damage.
That's what she's meant to do. She's an assassin.
You're gonna pick her, and then I think she would actually synergize pretty well with that AoE team we were talking about. Like you have a Gazlowe with the Gravel Bomb, pull people in. She just dives in on top of them, does the Impaling Blades, immediately stuns everybody. They start running out, pulls them back in. Like she's gonna be very good in combination with those kind of heroes. So you know, that's kind of my take on it. Pass to somebody else what they kind of see in her.
Yeah, she also does, like we have seen, she does do some pretty sick amounts of damage when able to get in with an isolated champion. So her ability to just say, I found you out in the middle of nowhere, you're screwed because you're not getting away. I'm going to stun you, I'm going to pull you back, and I'm going to be able to do all this damage to you. So she's also pretty impressive as an assassin. Maybe a sub for Team Pusher Feed. She is squishy. But I think she's gonna get out of this stuff.
Well, also, real quick here, something I just noticed too, and obviously Heroes of the Storm is not being marketed as a game where you're gonna have a lot of 1v1 situations. But if you look at Kerrigan versus, say, like Illidan or versus Nova, one of her tier 6 talents is Imposing Presence, which enemies that attack you have their attack speed slowed by 30%.
It's on a few different
that,
of them, yeah.
That instantly makes her way better in 1v1 scenarios than most 1v1 heroes.
Yep. And when it comes
that's
going to
be really huge. Yeah. So if you catch somebody in the like Sophus was saying, if you catch somebody alone, you know, and they do decide to stand their ground, and they rely at all on auto attack, like they're going to be really hard pressed to do anything because Kerrigan's basically getting a 30% DPS buff. So, yeah.
She doesn't afraid of anything.
Well, and she doesn't afraid of anything, and she's a really cool guy.
Girl.
Yeah.
Well, that's not how the saying goes.
Oh man, but I mean, we could also get the answer. Who's the ultimate villain, Kerrigan or Illidan in a one-on-one death match? We'll have to make some theme videos about that later.
I'm thinking Nazeeba.
Nazeeba probably is gonna just run in on a horse and just win. On My Little Pony.
On that unicorn. Yeah.
Summon 800 shields and then win.
It's pretty selfish.
You can just throw them at people and just probably kill them 400 each.
Yeah, it'll be like Shield Slam, like that warrior building. Just Shield Slam everybody.
So there's your Kerrigan. We also saw her skins on stream while but the Barbarian icon looks extremely, I don't really know what to make of it.
Like
that icon, man.
Crazy eyes. You get
crazy eyes. Yeah.
What do you mean you didn't pick up milk at the grocery store?
Oh, I'm gonna kill you now. Don't bother coming home unless you got milk. Yeah. Squishy's eating. So Thilladrin.
Yay!
Tell us a little bit about the Barbarian who uses Fury instead of mana.
I'm reading this. It says Ancient Spear throws out a chain spear that pulls Sonya the first enemy it hits. So it's like a Nautilus.
It's straight out of Diablo 3. It's straight out of Diablo 3.
Yeah. Okay. Ancient Spear connects. She gains Fury. Hammer of the Ancients deals to the target enemy. Cooldown 1 second.
That's actually supposed to be AoE. At least in Diablo 3 it was AoE. So.
If it's based on cooldown 1 second, that's a lot of damage. That's pretty awesome. But if it's based on Fury, that'll be the limit. Yeah.
Your cooldown's gonna be 0, but if you don't have the Fury, then whatever.
Yeah. Whirlwind, deal damage over 4 seconds. Leap into the air. Stun, deal damage when you land. Nice. Wrath of the Berserker, gain 50% bonus attack speed, 25% bonus movement speed, 10% additional lifesteal, and become unstoppable.
So probably unCCable, which again. All this goes back to Diablo 3. I'm assuming you never really got big into it.
I played because
I'm going to point out you have a poster behind you that says Diablo.
Yeah, I know. I max leveled a wizard and I nearly max leveled a monk, but I never played a barbarian.
All right, but everything there is basically just ripped straight out of Diablo 3 lore. But we also saw her once. We saw her on the Haunted Mines, and the Browder brought up the fact that she is probably going to be a really excellent addition because she can just go down to the bottom. She leeches life from enemies by attacking, and she doesn't use mana. It's like perfect solo ability down there. She get bribed because like that would be perfect.
She gets bribed.
Does she? I didn't actually.
She does.
Oh my God, she does have bribe. Look at that synergy.
Oh my
but
God.
You do have to build up the Fury, and that's the opposite side of things.
By attacking things.
You have no Fury to begin with. So you have to do regular basic attacks to be able to do any of your other attacks.
Right.
Oh, you said Hammer of the Ancients AoE tier 3 talent.
Yeah,
Hammer of the Ancients now cleaves and
yeah,
just cleaves.
I figured that would be down there. So bribe superiority. We've seen Whirlwind removes all movement and parrying effects. It's Diablo 3 in a nutshell. Like, actually, they removed that in the upcoming Reaper of Souls. You can't actually do that anymore. As a note, first aid again, leap. Now leap,
Stone Skin.
Leap
Stone Skin.
or Wrath of the Berserker. That's really hard for me, right? 40-second leap or 100-second Wrath of the Berserker, but God mode is at your fingertips right there.
That is pretty impressive. Like that's a sweet choice to have to make. Like you're just like, all right, I have great engage with this leap because it's going to jump in, you're going to stun and deal a decent amount of damage. I mean, at 50 is kind of give or take here, but. Or you have, for those of you that play League, basically and almost Olaf, right? Like, you become unstoppable. No CC. I'm coming in. You're not stopping me.
Right. Yeah.
And that's kind of scary.
You build him tanky. You go straight for the squishies. I mean, GG well played, right? Of course, you can't do that here, but I don't actually see anything else in the higher tiers, like 5, 6, 7. There's nothing.
They're all generic.
Yeah.
Stone Skin again, so now we're up to 3,200 shields.
Do you really need Stone Skin, though, on a Barbarian? Like, a Barbarian's supposed to be damage-oriented, and she has Life Leech and God Mode.
Yeah, I like Blood for Blood there.
Actually, her role is not listed. She does not have a role.
If you're going with Team Shields, then yes, but other than that, no.
I'm assuming
she's warrior.
I'm assuming she's supposed to be like damage-oriented, warrior-oriented, but
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it would actually be a bad pickup, considering how much being in the middle of a fight she'll probably be doing. I mean, it's never a bad idea to be tankier if you're just going to be constantly in the middle of a fight, especially because I would imagine that your answer to the barbarian is probably just focus fire.
Yeah,
it's probably just kill it as soon as possible. So if you make that a little bit harder, I don't think it's a bad pickup at all.
That's why you have Uther. That's why you got Tassadar. That's why you got Abathur. Those guys will synergize extremely well with these warriors, but we have seen them, and there does not seem to be any kind of hidden surprises here. So if you're good with all this, Nova coming up.
Nova.
And who hasn't talked in a while? Squishy.
Okay, fine. I was eating before.
I noticed.
Yeah.
I'm hungry now.
So I'm gonna echo someone in chat here. Nova, probably from Nova Scotia. All right, moving on.
This is why we can't have nice things, Squishy.
It's pretty much. That's like dead on the money. Yeah.
A piece of me just died. Like,
yeah, me too.
Right near my heart.
Squishy, did you not hear that we were trying to wrap this up within 2 hours?
Yes.
Now we're going to spend the next 5 minutes complaining.
Alright, complaining. All about Nova. Squishy, go.
Nova, her passive is basically a stealth that very similar to Zeratul. After a couple seconds, she just cloaks. She's basically your standard ranged carry. Her Q just does damage in a skill shot. W is basically a kiting. She slows the target enemy, and then she can probably kite back and deal more damage and kill them. We've seen triple tap in the latest dev match. It basically locks onto a target, fires 3 bullets, which can be blocked by other heroes or anything really.
Caitlyn ult.
Pretty much.
Triple Caitlyn ult, yeah.
Have we seen the other ult?
Maybe.
I have at BlizzCon, but not in the streams, or in the VODs or anything.
I want to bring up a potential city. Precision Strike, unlimited range, 300 damage after a short delay. Tyrande reveals heroes with owls.
Ooh. And see, they're not gonna. Nova's not close, so they're not gonna expect it.
It says unlimited range.
Deceive isn't safe nowhere.
Is that actually going to be a Nazba counter meta? Nazba counter meta.
You go for that objective, Nazba. Bam, bam, bam. Get down.
More like Nazba. Did you walk outside the base? How dare you get back in that base? Nazba's like, I want to get experience, coach, but they won't let me.
Your bench reason.
It's fine. I'm just gonna channel this. I'm gonna channel this spirit way over here, away from no one. No, that ain't working either.
And suddenly, you are so glad that this is a shared XP game because God help Nazba. Level 1 Nazba sitting in base, like, can I come out? Can I? No.
Wants to come out to play. Nova FN92 sniper rifle, 1 attack range and vision. Snipe deals now 50% damage in a 2.5 unit radius around prime target, so hit somebody and shockwaves, you can kind of imagine. Hollow decoy, you can now control your decoy. That could be fun if you're not paying attention. Yeah, if you're not paying attention. Passive, while cloaked, move 25% faster, and regen health while cloaked. That seems very useful.
Yes, it does.
1.17% every 2 seconds, so every less than a minute to get back to full health. While cloaked. While cloaked. Yep, good sustain right there. Pinning shot also takes 30% increased damage, and then that's it. Everything else is all generic. But again, potential synergies for your teams. Nova could really become, with Abathur, with Tyrande, the global. Just you never get objectives. Like you run through a minefield, you get hit by an owl, you got no health, precision shot.
Yeah, it's bad enough an owl just pecked you in the face. Now you're getting triple shotted.
You're already questioning your life decisions because the owls are hitting you in the face. Like, what did go wrong?
That's way worse than being pooped on by an owl. It just flies right in.
We got a good tempo here going, guys, so let's keep it up.
Sorry.
Demon Hunter coming out. Vala. Sophist. All yours.
All right, this is a champion I don't really know too much about. But
does nobody play Diablo 3? Should I just do all the Diablo 3?
Actually, no, I do know. If it's all straight from Diablo 3, I might be able to handle this. Basically, she is the Diablo 3 champion. She is another sort of assassin in the Nova mold. A little more mobile, I believe, though. She has a Hungering Arrow, straight from Diablo. Deals damage, goes through, can seek up to extra targets. So it's kind of a multi-shot deal. Well, no, because then there's multi-shot, which deals 60 damage to enemies within the card area. So I mean, AOE damage here is pretty impressive. Vault is able to get away. That's another thing straight from. It's actually key in Diablo if you're trying to stay alive in Inferno.
Yep. I use it like a billion times now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. The fact it's on a 10-second cooldown probably appropriate for here. if you were able to just spam it, it would be absurd. Strafe attacks up to 3 enemies for damage every 1.25 seconds. She's able to move and use her Vault ability while strafing. So that ability to just kind of kite people around and do absurd amounts of damage seems pretty prevalent with this champion. And her other ultimate, Reign of Vengeance, launches 2 waves of Shadow Beasts that deal 100 damage to enemies within target area, stunning them for 0.5 seconds per wave.
We saw that in the last dev match. Squish and I figured that part out, and I don't think she actually ever hit anything with him.
I used it as an Abathur cloned Vala, and it's kind of hard to hit.
Yeah, it is. Because, like, you launch it, and then it's like, and then they land, and then the damage. Like, you're not there anymore. You gotta lead them.
The stun seems kind of underwhelming, right? A half a second stun per wave.
Well, let me ask, did anybody here play Vala at BlizzCon by chance? Because I talked to somebody who did, and he was telling me that the whole time, like, she's mobile, but she feels really anemic. Like, she doesn't do a lot of damage. Is kind of what he was saying it felt like. Like,
so
the mobility
Illidan
is definitely
1v1 clear
there.
victor.
Well, the thing is, like, she moves around a fair bit, but yeah, if the damage is not there, then as an assassin, you'd have to think, like, I mean, maybe it's just one of those things where as the levels go up, you know, she really starts to, like, kind of take flight, but he was saying that for the most part, compared to other assassins, like, she just couldn't do much. That was at BlizzCon. Obviously, numbers can be kind of messed with to make her more viable, but at least from what we were hearing, you know, and even in the VODs, it really doesn't feel like she's had, like, that huge, like, presence necessarily that we've seen with, like, say, like Zeratul by the end of the game. Zeratul by the end of the game was cutting people up, but Vala not so much. So maybe her worth would be more dependent on the numbers kind of getting adjusted. But
I like how they kept
mobility, though.
I love how they kept hatred in the game. She generates hatred. Yeah. And level 2 down right there, Rancor, plus 3% ability power per hatred stack, and you can get up to 10 of them. That's 30% ability power per max stacks.
Maybe it's one of those things where, like, the sustained damage is what's supposed to really kind of make her viable. Like, that obviously she can stay in a fight by being mobile, and then by basically watching positioning, she can kind of sustain that damage. And
she's got things like she's got things like Manticore, which every third basic attack against the same target will deal 50%.
They Manticore? That's brilliant.
Will deal 50% extra damage. So, I mean, if she has the Blood for Blood later on or something to that effect where she can do % damage, you need
Giant Killer
to be smart. Giant Killer.
Yeah, 1.5% max health, plus 50%. I wonder if that would actually calculate. That shouldn't factor into the calculation, but if it did, whew, that's 3% of your max target health right there.
Yeah, her thing is going to be staying in the right spot, using her mobility to stay in those fights and not worry about just getting chased down. So similar to, I maybe would say a Vayne in League of Legends.
Yep, I can go with that. Yeah.
So I think the skill cap will be fairly high with her if that's what's required of you to do a lot of damage in these fights.
Her tier 5 and tier 6 actually revolves around Vault. Casting Vault refreshes your Hungering Arrow, and then Vault you get 2 charges and you drop Caltrops. Again, it's all very Diablo 3 oriented, and I'm actually very excited to play her. But I mean, Illidan Abathur, like, right here in the heart, man. Right here in the heart.
For those of you who have played Demon Hunters, is it a little bit disappointing to you that there's no tactical advantage to where, like, after you vault, you move faster? Because that's kind of like the whole thing I think with Vault. Like, yeah, the movement speed. But.
Here's her skin, kind of like a Van Helsing looking-ish skin. Hey. It's pretty awesome looking, to be honest. But if I had to buy one skin, I think it might be that one, to be honest. It's pretty awesome looking. Malfurion! I'll take over Malfurion, why not?
Boom.
You know, kind of. We've seen him in a few matches. Support oriented. My music once again decides that it's not worthy. Regrowth, Moonfire, in Tingling Roots, Tranquility, Twilight Dream. A lot of people playing this game probably have some experience with Warcraft, but I mean, there's no real hidden surprises in here. Regrowth heals you and also puts on a hot. Moonfire damages you and deals a dot. I assumed, but I guess it doesn't. It just looks like 30 damage. Maybe it's a talent. But it also reveals. This is actually... Moonfire is AoE, believe it or not. It is not targetable. And this is something we noticed, or at least I noticed, in the Blackheart Bay VOD. It is not a targetable ability. It is AoE, and you can use it to grant vision, like across the way, in a bush, that kind of stuff.
Kind of nice. 3-second cooldown. That's really nice.
I mean, it reveals them for 2, so it's a Kog'Maw ult almost.
Kinda, yeah.
3-second cooldown seems wrong, to be honest.
It seems a little low.
But Moonfire spam.
I was just gonna say.
Yeah. That's how you do it.
That is literally how you do it. Yeah.
Plus, his talent is Innervate. Reading it on another site, it's 100 mana over 10 seconds, and that's kind of nice. And it's targetable to anybody, yourself or allies. And it's got a 30-second cooldown.
Yeah, we've seen. Yeah, he replenishes mana, and again, Innervate, really WoW themed-esque there. Tangling Roots, not really different. Tranquility heals, and Twilight Dream is something that I don't think we've actually seen. But short delay, 100 damage in large area around Malfurion, which means he has to get like up in the thick of things. So does he get Stone Skin? My bet is yes.
Yeah, that's it. We finished our team. That's 5 people with Stone Skin. Victory.
5 Stone Skin team. Can't kill them late game.
And there's that ice block at tier 5 now.
We've seen. We already knew that was coming though. I mean that has shown itself.
We were wondering where it was.
Innervation's cooldown is 10 seconds faster and grants mana twice as fast with the tier 1. Regrowth also heals allies for %. Oh, so that's AoE. That's cool. Tangling Roots. Wow, you have to. This is the first time I think we've seen a tier 2 where you have to choose one of your abilities. Oh no, Invigorate's generic. Never mind. But yeah, Regrowth or Entangling Roots. Do you go with the Treants or do you go with the Regrowth?
That's what I say. Looking at him, you can play him either as mostly a healer oriented or a controller oriented, based on what you choose each tier.
Yeah. Relentless Cleanse, Moonfire, blah blah blah. Healing Ward again. We've seen Sprint and Ice Block. We've seen and Stone Skin again, but nothing really like past tier 5.
Yeah, once you get
nothing specific.
Late, it's kind of generic. What I think he might actually be another one of those people that fits into that AoE team comp as one of their supports. Being with that Twilight Dream, if you're able to pull everyone and he can be in there, able to silence and slow them for 50%, that's pretty impressive considering if you're following it up with multiple other AoE abilities to keep them in that areas.
That'd be pretty baller.
It's going to be good.
Pretty baller, yeah. All right, anybody last thoughts on Malfurion? Or, I mean, I think we've pretty much explored all of his possibilities. He's been in at least 2 of the matches, if not more.
I had something to say and I forgot. Damn it.
You got 10 seconds.
Oh, well.
Okay,
never mind. The good ones are coming up here.
It's not there. Just forget it.
No problem. Thanks. Sergeant Hammer, a.k.a. Edmund Duke, a.k.a. Drop the Hammer. JK, would you like to enlighten us?
Sure. Sergeant Hammer, from what we've seen, seems like somebody I don't really care to play as. He has 2 different kind of modes, though, when you're playing him. From his Q ability is his tank mode and siege mode. Your tank mode is just your general move around, your regular attack damage, attack range, and everything. But when you go into that siege mode, you're locking down the Sergeant Hammer. He basically locks down in place, increased damage, increased attack range, and he gets splash damage. So you get that kind of like trade-off of not being able to move for the increased ability and stuff. But with that, he has his W, 100 caliber blast, which deals 50 damage and knocks back enemies. So that could be very good to support a teammate who's trying to run away.
Yep.
Spider mines, create 3 mines that deal 50 damage and slow enemies by 25%. Once again, you're blocking off the path of an enemy, forcing them to reroute themselves. Napalm Strike deals 40 damage on impact. Additional damage deals 30 damage per second. That lasts for 4 seconds. So you're actually doing additional 120 damage there. So that's actually pretty nice ultimate in itself. I'm not sure how long it takes to cast though. And then your other ult,
it's pretty instant from what I recall.
It's pretty instant.
Yeah.
And then the blunt force gun, which has 100-second cooldown. There's actually a big difference there. His napalm strike has a 6-second cooldown. His other ult is a 100-second cooldown, which deals 150 damage to enemies in path. Reveals as it travels.
Now,
so I guess I'm not sure how fast that is. Have we seen
fast.
that?
I'm going to refer you to Squishy.
Fast and it's.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Sorry, Michael, but yeah, Squishy is the one that brought all this up to my attention, so I think he should be the one to talk about it.
Oh.
Unless you don't want to.
It sucks.
Good laugh.
It was funny to watch. That was for sure.
It's a giant missile that runs over your opponents.
It never explodes.
Never explodes. It just hits them in the head.
We theorize that maybe it'll hit a building and explode, but no, it just keeps going.
Not at all. But nope. Squishy, me and you, we looked at the day 9 one with Napalm Strike, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that had Corki. It was the Corki missiles.
Right.
But Napalm instead of missiles. So that's why it's low cooldown, right? Like, can you explain quickly, just for the viewers?
Yeah. So he's able to the cooldown is 6 seconds, and he shoots out a missile, deals damage, and then leaves like a little void zone on the floor that deals damage to anybody who stands in it, which lasts 4 seconds. So he can basically just keep a permanent one down during the team fight. He just has to rotate through his abilities.
Yeah. So that's why it's low cooldown. Like, if you only can really shoot out one though. So that's why. Fun times. He has bribe. JK.
Yeah, he's got his bribe. If you're looking at most of his talents right now, they are enemy hindering abilities and stuff. Looking at things, I mean, mastery at tier 2 is spider mines, from 3 to 5 mines. His talent there for tier 3, the Sergeant Hammer passive buff weapon, increases damage to enemies over 4.5 range away. That just gives him some basic extra damage. His 100 caliber blast, though, at tier 3, creates a wall of debris that blocks pathing for 4 seconds.
Yep.
Which that's a huge deterrent again, or rerouting of enemy. He's got his basic berserk, blunt force gun. His ultimate's at 4, battle fury at 5, basic attacks increased. At tier 5, he gets another talent of his Crucio X2 cannon, gains +2 basic attack range and +2 vision radius. So basically, I mean, you're looking at him increasing your range of attack and increasing what you can see. So if he's moving around, you've got some extra sight with your guy. Giant Killer, Ice Block, whatever. Siege mode.
The siege mode's the big one. The big one.
Yeah, you increase it and allows slow movement. So before, where you were locked down, well, now you're not as locked down.
And we also saw that in the dev commentary. He was a literal hover tank. He's just kind of like hovering there and moving forward very slowly with his siege mode. And
now, can you combo that with I guess a teammate who can increase his speed, and then would he move faster?
Don't see why not.
Presumably, yeah.
I mean, it might get reduced by the same amount of percentage, right? If it's negative 80% move speed, the buff would also be negative 80%, but it would still move you faster. I don't see why not.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's about it on him.
Yeah, those are the big ones. But at least we got to see that his gun actually did something. And again, I'm crediting Squishy to bring that to my attention. Then we also figured out the napalm strike in the last one because you're like, we didn't see a giant missile. So we've seen him in a few times, and the siege, the push your feed, like the siege, you could make a 5 siege team. And I'm very curious to see if we're actually going to do that or not.
No, we should do it ourselves. We're doing it. Closed beta. That's what's happening.
Closed beta. We will be called Push or Feed.
Day 1, Team Push
and
or
we will
feed,
make a YouTube
siege.
series out of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
One game on everybody's YouTube, and then you just keep rotating through. All right, coming down to the dress. We've got the last few ones, guys, here. But the fun thing is we don't actually have like any surprises left, so we can get through them real quick. Zeratul. Cloaks.
Yes.
Blinks. Has a singularity bomb. I think I have a picture of him.
And the troll.
Somewhere, but I don't. And the troll?
Trollers.
The
troll prison.
The troll ability.
Oh,
Troll
is that
prison.
the void prison?
Yeah, the troll prison.
So
You're stuck. No one can do anything to you. I don't know what else to do. I'm just going to leave
it
now.
is void. It is the void from... Was that Han or is that Dota 2? Void.
Dota 2.
Chronos.
Yeah.
This was a last-ditch effort.
Yeah. Last-ditch effort. But as they said, you could troll. 100-second cooldown's a long time to be trolling, though. But yeah, traps targets and become invulnerable. Caster is immune. So you can literally walk up to your enemies, dance in front of them, and then walk away. But that's all it's going to do for you. Shadow Assault, Blink, Singularity Spike, Cleave. We've seen him in previous VODs, but big AoE, or big single target damage. Not very big on the AoE. Let's take a quick look. 25% attack damage when breaking Cloak. So it's like a little bit of a burst. You know, Cloak out, and it's like a surprise attack kind of idea. 10% movement speed while cloaked. Amplified Healing, Relentless. Singularity Bomb now explodes for AoE. So there you go, tier 3. Void Prison, that's the level 4. Cleave Mastery, I'm a little surprised he actually gets a talent related to his cleave, to be honest.
Gives it a bleed.
Hey,
Nice.
What?
I'll take
Just says deals additional 50% damage.
Over
5
5 seconds.
Ooh. Right.
It's called a rending cleave.
We've been doing this for a while. My eyes are starting to blur. And then Blink Mastery, of course. So the blink is you can blink forward, hit them, and then instantly re-queue it back to where you cast. I'm actually playing against a Shaper in Dawngate with that ability. His name is Faurus. He literally blinks forward, goes like this, hits you, and then runs away before you can do anything. It is bloody overpowered.
So it's
That's an
LeBlanc.
interesting one.
LeBlanc.
Vorpal Blade. Yeah. Activate to teleport to the last target. Loud ad starts playing randomly. Activate to the last target you attacked within 3 seconds. That's kind of you attack them, you disappear, and then all of a sudden, nope, I'm back, and then you can't couple it with the other blink because it's tier 6, but that'd have been shenanigans.
Yeah, it's gonna be one or the
15
other.
second cooldown.
But imagine comboing those. Blink forward, attack, blink away, he misses, blink forward again. You attacked him.
That'd be amazing though. You attack, they get away. If they get really far away to the other side of their team, and you just like blink, and now you're on the other side of their team.
It would be amazing.
And dead.
But yeah, you got to pick one. Or the other.
And probably dead.
The one that I notice out there is that blinking would be for juking, whereas Vorpal would be really like, oh, you teleported? Haha! Bam, I followed you. I mean, it's very aggressive.
He's fighting himself on the other team.
Yeah, pretty much. Next up, Tyrael. Again, no real big surprises, but Sophist, if you could.
Tyrael. Actually, do you think they'll play this guy a lot? Maybe he's
All right.
do
it up.
The man for this.
I loved Tyrael on Blackheart's Bay because his Q, throw out a sword. You press it again, you teleport to the sword, and it was long enough range to pass over the impassable gaps of water. Righteousness, it's Scion's shield. Nothing more to say about that. Hand of Sacrifice. This was beautiful. You put a little shield on a friend, and the damage is reduced by 10% and transferred to you.
Yep.
Instead.
It's pretty awesome.
It's very lovely. Judgment, that's the one I took. Charges the target, stuns them to decent range. It's just all of a sudden like, here's Tyrael, and then all of a sudden, there's Tyrael. And it was just beautiful.
We saw that in the last dev match as well.
Mm-hmm. And then...
Sanctification.
Sanctification. While channeling, all nearby heroes are invulnerable and unstoppable. Does not affect Tyrael.
Did any of you guys ever play Dota where we had the Witch Doctor that would have that ability? Just like it's channeled invulnerability?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Does he get Stone Skin? Something tells me this guy gets Stone Skin.
I don't remember.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Look at that. Stone Skin, invulnerable team fights. Push your feed. Yes.
Done. Push your feed.
On it.
Just the talents. You got tier 1. You got his atonement. This is something different, interesting. Undying, resurrect 5 seconds faster for every hero hit with Might of Eldritch Ruin. That's
his
I think that's his
sword,
passive. Yeah, but his passive when he dies, it's Kog'Maw's passive.
Yeah, he comes back.
And he explodes.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah, I get it.
If you hit people, you come back faster. That's pretty nice. Punishing Blade, I took. It was great. Throw the sword. Once you teleport, it creates a blocking field. And I think a Diablo on my team charged somebody into it, and his charge, if you go somewhere you can't path, it stuns them, like Poppy. So that's really nice.
Synergy right there,
yeah. Vampiric Assault, we've seen all that. Hand of Sacrifice. Enemies in the beam take damage every second. That was beautiful as well.
That's Fire Chains from Diablo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Righteousness. He becomes unstoppable while the shield is active.
That's pretty key.
That's pretty key, yes. Scion Shield, and you can't stop him while he's running at you with the shield. That would suck a lot. Spell Shield, everybody's favorite. Stone Skin and World Stone... What the hell is this? Basic attacks deal 50% of damage as splash damage. That's nice. I'm going to note Burning... Yeah, Burning Rage, the Sunfire Cape passive.
Yeah.
That came with 300 health at BlizzCon as well.
Ooh, so it's definitely been nerfed.
Either that or this is an early version.
There you go.
Probably an early version.
So you could literally play Tyrael as Kayle. Like with
every
AoE invulnerability. It's literally just Kayle. Oh my god.
If I remember correctly, every tier had health in it in some form or another.
Amazing.
In the BlizzCon build. So by the end of the game, you had a lot of health and you did a lot of damage.
Well, I got a picture for this guy. It is the Elite Tauren Chieftain. Who wants to talk about him?
This is the guy I want to play the most, I think, when the game comes out. He just seems fun. He's a rock star, man.
He is literally a rock star. His ult skin is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, he's got his Q is power slide, so he's got some mobility. He's gonna slide to a location, deal X 60 damage when he gets there, and stun someone for 1 second. That's pretty impressive. Face melt, deal 50 damage to nearby enemies, knocking them back and stunning them briefly. Another impressive ability. I like anything that he's just stun machine. His guitar solo also regenerates 25 health per second for 4 seconds, so he's got some innate sustain. And then his 2 ults are Mosh Pit, stunning everyone for 4 seconds and forcing everyone to dance. I like that. And the one I'm really excited for is Stage Dive. Leaps to a location, deals 100 damage to enemies in the target area, and slowing them for 3 seconds.
Yeah,
like
we saw that as well.
It is impressive, I think. I mean, you don't stun when you do it. You're going to slow them for 3 seconds, but I think it's a great initiate. And it's global, if I remember correctly. Yeah, any location, so...
He has 1,040 health by default.
Yeah,
wow.
He's beefy.
Tanky.
And he can regenerate that health.
Yeah,
so.
look at
And
that
he gets
regen.
Stone Skin. He gets Stone Skin.
And he gets
Everybody
Stone
gets
Skin.
Stone
Just
Skin.
one for everyone.
Echo Pedal looks cool. Guitar Hero, again, like just damage. Face Melt, it's literally called Face Melt. That's I love it. Slow everybody. Mosh Pit, Stage Dive, no problem. Block. Monster Slide increases width. Yeah. So we got owls that are fat, and now we got cows that are fat. It's great. Uber Rockstar trade. Yeah, look at that. 25% movement bonus. Ridiculous.
You gotta be able to move, man, when you're a rocker.
See, that's pretty true, yeah. That's
I found some synergy. I love this. Resurgence of the Storm, you die. You come back 5 seconds later, you stage dive back into the fight across the map.
There you go. Exactly.
Oh, you thought you killed me. Guess what?
Globals, man. So that's what, our 4th global we've seen now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could have Team Global. I'm totally making Team Global.
That's no. After they find a way to counter Team Pusher Feed, we're gonna go to Team Global. Just be like, we abandon this meta. We're creating a new one.
It's just
global warming.
Yeah, I mean the whole map is our battlefield. We just immediately show up wherever the hell we want.
What's up? I'm here.
Yeah. And of course, again, the Glamrock skin looks pretty amazing. Down to the last 4. Diablo. Who wants to do the big and chunky?
I'm calling Stitches. So Stitches
all right. Stitches even on this?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah. So Diablo, one of the most tanky level 1 characters, 1060 health.
Yeah, my goodness.
Pretty beefy at level 1. His abilities basically just a bunch of what's the word?
Get out of my way or die.
Yeah, just kind of push and pull. I can't think of the word because we've done this for like 3 hours already. 2 hours.
Yeah. This is looking at 2.5, but good one.
But you know, his Q charges an enemy, stuns them. W, just kind of a conal damage attack. His E basically grabs a player and flips them over his head and stuns them again.
Singed, okay.
And his first R, basically he becomes unstoppable, and
wow,
that was different. But he basically has a he channels a cone of lightning towards the cursor, which probably means that he can slightly spin it. So it's a conal laser beam.
Yeah, you could control it with your mouse.
But you're also unstoppable, which means no CC for you.
So you can move while that.
No, you can't get stunned.
Okay.
He has to channel, so he has to stay there, but he can do the spin me right round, but you can't stun him out of it. You just got to run away.
And then this other one, we haven't seen it used.
I love the look
nor
of the
do I
Apocalypse.
ever think we'll see it used.
Yeah, I don't know.
Creates a demonic rune under each enemy, and then after a few seconds, if they're still in it, they get stunned and take damage.
Your AOE team
If you
comp,
have
man.
an initial, the AOE team comp. If you have that initial stun,
Yeah.
if you time it,
Brilliant.
you're gonna hit people.
It's
Brilliant.
the Wombo combo.
Yeah. You also missed the most important part about him so far. His gender is malleable. So.
What?
Well,
The description.
we've
That is
seen
what it says.
we've seen male Diablo in 1 and 2, and then 3
God.
he infested Leah, which means he turned into a female.
Yeah.
That awkward moment when Diablo has a pretty bitchin' rack. You're like, I don't know if I want to kill you.
I think.
Like, should I be turned on? I don't know.
I don't know.
Is it awkward?
So tier 1, he has like a Warwick passive from League where if there's a revealed injured hero, he gets bonus movement speed.
Yep, that's
so
pretty
he
awesome.
can chase down really easy. Not much gets bonus. He has 2 plus 10% health. So with highest base health, he can also double up on that and get one of the highest endgame healths, it looks like.
God.
He's gonna
I don't-
be horrifying for Nazma.
Nazma was supposed to be the demon slayer, like the witch doctor. You know.
Well, someone's getting revenge here. and it's not Nazma.
I don't understand Fire Stomp. Look at that.
Fire stop. Fireballs that don't hit the target.
I don't get it.
Basically, when you use your conal attack, things that if any of them don't hit, they'll boomerang backwards and deal half damage to anything it hits.
Oh, so they're not going to deal damage to him.
No, I
No,
doubt
they're
it.
returning.
I want to get that.
I didn't
man.
get it.
Oh,
I didn't get it.
myself.
What is Zed doing? Oh, okay.
There's a dog in my lap, guys. He's very upset by how long this has gone on.
Dude, if you
I
need
thought you were
to
trying to like put on a sweater or something.
if you need to jet, like I totally understand. This has gone almost 2.5 hours, but we're down to the final.
I think I'm
four.
gonna have to, guys. I think this dog wants to go outside, so
Yeah, Zen Style, follow him on Twitter at Zen Style.
Yeah.
it's at Robert A. Wing. but
Whatever.
whatever. Yeah.
Same thing.
Dad, thanks for having me, guys. Have fun.
Bye.
just
Diablo,
wanna say-
the Rune King. All right, that's it.
I want to say one last thing on Diablo. The favorite hero for Abathur to take over and make a copy of.
Would be Diablo.
Just have, yeah, he was. That's why I did it. So much fun. He just had 2 Diablos charging and throwing people behind, and shooting out lightning bolts from their mouth.
Amazing.
Oh,
I do apologize at the length of this. Did not expect 2.5 hours, but that's why we're ramping up at the end. Apocalypse and Lightning Breath, you get no worries, but nothing else. Look at that. Everything else after that is generic.
Yep.
Burden.
Wow. So we'll probably see what. I don't even know what you take. Maybe Might and Magic. Who knows? There's no spell shield though, and no shields.
No stone skin.
No stone skin. That's what I meant
Oh,
to say.
what?
No
Stone skin on like absurd amounts of health.
Possibly one of the better looking skins for Diablo, the Kaiju skin. Pacific Rim, please no Bannerino. But it looks amazing. I guess he won't do Stitches, but we're doing Muradin. Down to the final 3 guys. Muradin we've seen once. Did not look that impressive to me. But rapidly regenerates health as he nears death. And he's basically like, he's a mountain giant. No, he's a mountain dwarf. Not giant. He's a mountain dwarf. Stormhammer, Thunderclap, Dwarf Toss, which I think is amazing. And Avatar. Like, it's literally Warcraft 3 in a nutshell. Also really beefy. 1,040 hit points. Really good regen on top of that as well. Stormhammer deals damage. Stuns. Thunderclap deals damage. Slows. Dwarf Toss. Leaps. Deals damage. Avatar gains 500 health and his attacks stun enemies.
That seems crazy.
I don't know what Haymaker does. Deals 200 damage, knocks it back, hitting
That's for
enemies
20
in the way.
seconds.
Yeah,
20 seconds of just. I
stuns,
wonder if that
root,
100
and
second
slow. reduce.
cooldown. Is that 100 second cooldown after the 20 seconds,
Yeah,
or as
very
soon as he
likely.
pops it?
No.
Good question.
It usually stops as soon as the effect ends.
Yeah.
Lol,
So it's
Lol
2
figured
minutes.
that out really early. Skullcracker, every 4th attack will stun them. So bash, basically, from Warcraft 3.
He's a stunning machine.
He is.
Like what?
3rd wind.
You have a stun, and you have a stun.
3rd
Sorry.
wind as a trait here in tier 3. increases second wind's health, which is what I'm assuming his passive is for regen. So at 40% health, he now has even more regen. Like, he's going to be the Volibear. He's going to be Volibear, essentially.
Oh, I love Volibear.
Stuns, slows, and regen every time you're at 40%. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. Or you take the Thunderclap mastery.
Thundercrap.
Yeah. I remember Warriors in vanilla. Thundercrap for sure.
Thundercrap, yeah. It's getting late. Things like that are becoming funny to me.
Stormbolt and Dwarf Launch increases range and impact by Dwarf Toss. So he literally jumps into you, Thunderclaps, Stormbolts, turns on his avatar, and just chain stuns you. Now, he might not be the best for the AoE team, but I swear to God, he is going to be the best lockdown mechanics you can get.
He's going to be the one who walks in, finds the enemy Nova, and it's just like, no.
It's almost like Whack-A-Mole. Bam, bam, bam.
Yeah. Bam, bam, bam. I love it.
I'm out of skins, I'm sorry to say. But,
oh no!
Stitches.
It allows Stitches. Now, I have to say, this might be the best guy to clone with Abathur. 2 hooks. Hook 1, hook 2. Got enemy heroes across the fucking map.
Double... You just make a line of like people that gets hooked. You just throw them all the way into your palace. Yeah.
Yes.
Take care when
deals no
traversing
damage.
the shadowed trails of Duskwood.
Yeah.
I like how they work that in.
Yeah, because that in vanilla, that's you know you're level 20.
Yeah.
Level 22 walking across the road. Here comes a level 35 elite, and that's back when that meant something.
Yeah, he one-shotted you.
Down, it's just like he's just like, where the fuck did that thing come from? Because Duskwood was so huge, you're so slow, and you're just like half AFK, not paying attention. All of a sudden, you look up and you're dead.
He destroyed the town.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, Hook, Slam, Devour, and Gorge. We've seen Gorge actually before in the Booty Bay, not the Booty Bay, the Blackheart Bay. But I mean, basically, you're stuck in him like Luke in a tauntaun. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, and
We also saw the other one.
We have seen the other one. You're right.
Yeah.
He just kind of farts everywhere, and you don't want to go near it.
It's kind of like a better Skarner ult.
All right, he pukes everywhere. Sure. Emits bile.
Gorge.
You're right.
He eats them, and it's like a better Skarner ult. It's 3 seconds, and he can just run wherever the hell he wants with a movement speed buff or something. He can take somebody straight out of the fight and
He's gonna find his Eva.
He's
gonna find.
He's got Bolt of the Storm. He can eat somebody, then use Bolt of the Storm to get away.
Oh my God!
He's gonna eat the Ziva, blink away, spit her out in front of his 4 teammates, and be like, "Presents!"
And then pull her back with the chain.
It says activate to teleport to the location, but if there's any kind of casting on that, I can't imagine you could gorge someone and then like go to town.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that would be fair.
Pretty funny.
Amazing.
That reminds me. Why is Zen Style gone? Heroes of New Earth had that bug actually, where you could hook people and then teleport back to town, and you just get dragged across the entire map.
Is there gonna be a champion because in the Thresh mold where you can grab something and be pulled to them? Because this would be
does not look like
Sonya hooks into them and pulls to them.
Yeah, the ancient spear. Yeah, you're right.
Mhm.
That's the only one.
Yeah.
That's it.
Stitch's Tenderizer, basic attack slow enemies, which is good for spitting on bile at them. Devour also heals, which is probably the one that people are going to take in tier 2.
Yeah.
Increases vial gas radius for tier 3, which is pretty awesome. Tier 4 you get your ult, and then Slam, arc and range increased by 28.57%.
That seems
that
like
to a tenth of a decimal place.
Maybe it's something to do with the size of his model.
And then there's the hook, tier 6 hook, additional 5
Yeah.
range.
Yeah,
And
think
5
about
range is big though.
Yeah.
1 range is a one range on on Raynor and Nova. That's like a decent chunk if you're looking at the map. 5 range, that's huge.
Indeed.
It's like double range.
Yeah. These are small maps. These are really small maps.
Yeah, Hook is just gonna go traveling.
All right.
5 range is auto attack range, I think, for other characters.
For
Right.
Nova.
5.5.
Nova's is like 5, yeah.
Last but
alright.
not least, the big
6.5.
baddie himself, Wrath of the Lich King, Arthas. We've seen him. He was almost like a staple in the first few matches. Like, we almost saw him in entirety.
There were 2 of him in one of the matches, so
Yes, there were. Quite true. Summons
Arthas
undead
v.
spirits
Arthas.
of the enemies he kills. I think that's actually a lie. I think it's anybody he kills or assists come back to fight for him.
Oh my god.
Unless they
Yeah,
fixed it.
but-
I haven't seen him in a recent patch.
Yeah, they
Look at his
don't seem
health
to move
regen.
though. Yeah, his health is nuts.
His health regen is 2 point something. So I think it's the highest there is.
We've seen multiple
Yeah.
2s, but it very well could be the highest for sure. All right, Frost Strike, Howling Blast, Frozen Tempest, Sacrifice, Army of the Dead. Wow, he has 3. And Summon
Well,
Sindragosa.
Sacrifice is like after you use Army of the Dead, you can use Sacrifice.
Sacrifice ghouls for 100
Mhm.
health. Okay, I get it. I see it. I'm reading it now. But Frost Strike is the Q damage. Howling Blast, I believe, is the cone. Roots enemies in target place. Okay. Frozen
Yep.
Tempest deals 20 damage around you. Toggles for mana. Lasts until cancelled or Arthas is out of mana. And yeah, Army of the Dead versus Sindragosa. I think I like Sindragosa because it has a big range.
But and notice the 20-second structure stun. Freezes minions for 10 seconds and
Yeah.
structures for 20. That just
Sheesh.
eliminates an entire
or
base.
feed. Push or feed.
Yeah,
Push
that's
him.
part of it.
We
That's
found
that
it,
push-
guys. The fifth
That's
member.
that push. Yeah,
Arthas
that's that push
doesn't
member. He's definitely not
die,
feeding
though.
though, so I don't know.
Therefore, he
Arthas
just
not
pushes. He doesn't feed.
He's-
He just
the
walks
push
in there
part.
and it's like, ow, ow,
Yes,
ow,
you have-
ow.
you have
5
Nazeeba
minutes
for
later,
feeding.
ow, ow, oh, I'm dead.
Nazeeba does the feeding, Arthas does the pushing, and then everyone else can do both.
This seems ridiculous to me. Rune Tap, rank 1.
Yeah.
Every 5th attack is 10% of your hit points.
Oh, that's a bit much.
10%.
And then tier 2 amplified. Remember my example
40%
before?
more.
There's running by. Oh look,
Yeah.
half health Arthas. Here you go. Here you have full health. Well, that's oh my god.
Yeah, ridiculous.
I can't even speak. That's how amazing that is.
Trail Frost, more damage for people rooted. Not
Stone
we've seen as well a lot of talents related to people getting CC'd and increasing the damage against them. Does he have Stone Skin? He does have Stone Skin.
He is Stone Skin.
Amazing. Remorseless Winter, damage targets or damage slows target, more attack speed and movement, and that's it. Bolt Onslaught Resurgence.
We did
And we're
it.
done.
We did it, guys. We did it. Oh my god. 2.5 hours to go over every single thing that we thought was possibly entertaining and useful.
Oh, man.
There have been casualties along the way. R.I.P. Zen Style. Kennedy, you tried to suicide at one point. Welcome back.
He came back on his phone though.
He
Oh,
did.
man.
He
That's
did.
dedication.
That's dedication.
He took
My
notes out of
God,
Uther. He came
screwed
back
up
in a
here.
less powerful device. Thank you to all the viewers that stuck around. I think we peaked in around 30, which is more than I expected, but we ended off with about 17. And overall, this Alpha looks solid, guys. We have another Q&A dev match, I think, coming up sometime soon. They tweeted about that just before we went live.
Yeah.
Chat now meta and team comps.
No,
that's
we're,
next
we're
episode.
ignoring. I will totally do this week to week, every Thursday or something stupid. I will totally sit down with you guys and talk about this stuff. I will totally do it.
We should probably design team comps ahead of time and then just bring it to like the
Push
to
or
a show
feed.
and stuff
Push
and show
or
people
feed.
who we're putting together.
We need to do like simulations. We gotta get like the Ask Robot team to do simulations of the model, and then we put the teams together and we see who wins week to week. Team Global is totally what I'd be going for, but you could do Team Pusher Feed, Team AOE. You could do a lot of stuff. So
See, Nazeeba's like Teemo. It's a global taunt.
Yeah. I think that's what it
Yeah, that's it.
All
There you
right.
go. You nailed it.
I've been Forecourt Jester. You can find me out there, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. Jay Kennedy, JK Kennedy. Where can people find you?
Basically anything with JK Kennedy TV at the end, and that's where you'll find me.
Mr. Sophist,
is. Follow me at The Real Sophist on Twitter. That is it.
Mr. Thilladrin.
Yeah, follow me at Thilladrin on Twitter.
Very important. It's not Thrilladin. It is Thilladin.
It's
or
Thrilladin.
Thilladrin.
It's
No,
not
no.
thrilling.
I want to be Thrilladrin. Can you be Thrilladin?
No, I'm sorry.
He's
It was
Thilladin.
random name generated for me 9 years ago, and it's staying that way.
And Mr.
It's like an
Squishy.
exciting paladin. Okay, I'm sorry.
Mr. Squishy.
At Squishy, Twitch, Twitter, etc.
See ya.
Storm Forged Heroes storming the Nexus now.
Heroes
places.
Live.
Yeah.
And,
Dash.
and I'm
Bye.
going to go work on my website, which I won't mention yet, but possibly next week. Thank you so much for joining me, guys, and everyone. hopefully MMO Champion does not go down due to lawsuits or anything, and hopefully Squishy will retain his internet. But yeah, it was a pleasure, gents.
They already took down Kennedy's. It's fine.
Thanks for having me.
It was
They
a
took
pleasure.
out my computer.
We'll catch you later.